Well, Canadians have certainly had a tough time at the checkout these days, with food prices this year rising almost 6%. But according to the latest Canada's Food Price Report 2024, that total is likely to go up again, likely in the 2.5% to 4.5% range this year.
Sylvain Charlebois is professor and director at the Agri-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University and joins us live now with a closer look at Canada's Food Price Report. Sylvain, always great to speak with you about this. So I think one of the main things that jumped out is that Canadians actually spent less money on groceries than what was projected. And you kind of broke it down according to, pregnant woman, growing boy. Like if you go into the food report, it's very detailed. So why did this happen, first of all, and is this concerning?
Well, I have two words for you: interest rates. That's basically what happened. A lot of people were shocked when they were seeing the amount of money they had to spend to keep a roof over their heads over the last 18 months, and they just retreated. There are two necessities of life: shelter and food, and shelter affects food expenditures. Clearly, that's what happened in 2023. So people had to spend less on food. So they went to different stores, they traded down, they bought different brands. I mean, a lot of things did happen in 23 that really was quite violent, to be honest, for people's budgets.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And before we sort of talk about what you're projecting for next year, can we just quickly look back? Obviously, we spoke to you this time last year. You made a prediction in the food price report about what 2023 was going to look like. How did your predictions and sort of the report go last year compared to what actually has played out at the grocery stores?
Almost bang on. So 5 to 7% last year, if you remember, Nick. So we're at about 5.6, 5.9% right now. So we're on par. But what we didn't predict is the amount of money people didn't spend. Right. Because a lot of people were asking, well, with food inflation, are people spending more money? No, they're spending less despite inflation. And so we had to recalculate last year's benchmark for this year's prediction.
And yeah, when you break it down to the different food categories, because we're always interested to look at, what's going on: vegetables, meat, dairy, baked goods. The surprising thing was that the dairy sector, the change was actually 4%, not the 5 to 7%. So dairy actually went down, while baked goods was up to 8%. So what do you think accounts for those changes? Well,
that was a big miss. You're right, absolutely, Jennifer. Now, with dairy, remember last year we spoke about this huge increase at Farmgate. Farmers were going to get more, and we thought for sure that prices would actually increase at retail. But what actually happened is that a lot of grocers decided to use milk as a loss leader, and so just to attract us a little bit more at the grocery store. So that's probably why we saw a very, very small increase for dairy this year.
So Van, we're talking to you as consumers, right? We're kind of thinking, we go to the stores, we shop for our families, etc. What do you think grocers interpret from reports like yours that you put out annually? How does this impact their business models?
Well, right now, the last couple of years, grocers have done very well. They did very well in terms of selling non-food products. But we actually believe that 2024 is going to be a little bit more difficult. Even Walmart is talking about deflation. And so in the U.S., oh yeah, absolutely. So for the first part of 2024, we are expecting this so-called food inflation storm to end. Okay, we're going to get back to 2.5%, which is a reasonable rate. However, during the second half, we could actually see grocers fight for our business because left. We're going to dollar stores. We're going to discount stores. They want us back. So they're going to reward us for it with loss leaders and discounts. So we are expecting, some price wars here and there. And I wouldn't be surprised in the GTA to see many products sold at a discount, especially at the center of the store, dry goods particularly.
And yet, Sylvain, the biggest threat to, I guess, the agri-food industry is climate change. That seems like something that isn't going to end. We do have the ongoing war in Ukraine affecting prices. We have the slow recovery from the pandemic and things like that. But climate change, that's something that it's not as if we have a handle on that, do we?
Oh, absolutely. Now, there's one thing that is making us a little nervous, to be honest, is Israel. If in the Middle East, if the situation widens,
Right.
Now, that could impact oil prices, that could impact commodity prices, and basically we could relive what we went through back in 2008 when commodity prices went through the roof. So that's one thing that we're following very closely.
Yeah, those geopolitical realities play out at the grocery stores as well. Okay, Sylvain Charlebois,
Yeah.
always appreciate the time. Thanks for helping break down this year's report. Of course, he is the Director of Agri-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University. Always thanks again for the time, and if we don't talk, have a great Christmas.
Thanks so much.
You too.